Hello everyone, I'm Riley Ferris, and today I'm going to talk to you about GMOs. Here's my audience, my roommate Rod, and we're going to get started. Today I would like to talk to you about GMOs is because I am studying agricultural business and I want to help inform the community about GMOs and their presence. The biggest issue that we have between the agriculture community and the general public is miscommunication, and we would like to close that gap up. That is according to the Journal of Food Science. According to the USDA, a GMO is classified as an organism produced through a genetic engineering. So this basically means that they are taking genetics from one strain of crop and crossing it with genetics from another strain of crop. So it's just making the crop better for not only for human health and consumption, but also for the environment and for the financials of agriculture. Some of the positive impacts that I would like to talk today to you about are that this is not a new invention. It's been around for over 10,000 years, and just the basics of GMOs. So this is not a new technology. It has been around, established for over 10,000 years, just through crossing crops and seeds on the farms. It's not necessarily in a laboratory like it is today, which I think makes people so scared of GMOs. For the financial aspects, GMOs bring in over $98 billion in sales every year, and that is through the Keratin College. According to the Progressive Farmer, 1 acre of seed to plant costs approximately $680 for GMO crops and approximately $760 for non-GMO. So you can see that farmers are having to pay more money for the GMO crops, but in return they get a better yield and they also are making more money. This is due to using less water and less pesticides because these crops are being engineered so they can resist strains such as, like wheat, there is rust, and rust comes in and it literally destroys the crop and you can't get it out of your strain once it gets in. So engineers are making a strain of wheat that is resistant to rust so farmers aren't losing money, and that the crop that they are yielding is safe for consumption. Then I would like to talk to you about human health. The USDA and APHIS is in control of pesticides and disease. So these organizations make sure that these farmers and the engineering companies are making sure that they are following guidelines and that everything is safe for human consumption. The EPA is in charge of biological pesticides. So, like in organic crops, they can actually use certain pesticides, which a lot of people don't know, but they're not the general pesticides that everybody else can use, which can be confusing. But in all reality, GMOs are better due to the crops that are resistant to certain diseases like the rust and to certain types of bugs. So that's less chemicals that are being produced on our plants. The FDA is in charge of consumption, not only for animals, but also human health. So they want to make sure that these farmers and that these corporations are following the regulations to make sure that not only the humans are having a safe consumption, but also animals, because we feed animals crops such as corn, soybean, any kind of crop that we have excess that can be fed to them that they produce off of. According to the FDA, food does not have to be labeled GMO or non-GMO. A lot of companies will label them though, but it is not required due to the aspect that these crops need to go through the regulations. And then a lot of companies want to label non-GMO and will make their products more expensive just as a gimmick. And one example is organic food. They like to bash on the GMO and crops that use pesticides, so then they can sell their product at a higher rate and that consumption will go up. Also, next step I would like to talk is about the environment. According to genetically engineered crops, we feed approximately 155 people today, the average farmer that is. And by 2050, there is going to be over 9.7 billion people in the world and less farmers at that stage and less land to produce. Due to the less land and space, we need to come up with plans that will have more yield with less space, less resources, such as water, that will produce efficiently to help maintain the food within the world, and that we need to implement these in countries around the world, not only in America. Right now, America is having a surplus of these GMO products, but once we get these implemented around the world and get the strains down, then we will be able to have more of a sustainable agriculture worldwide. So today I want to conclude with why we should use GMO products. They're not only good for human health and animal health as well, which we eat both, but it is also proven that they are good for the financials of farmers, which we need to keep them in business, human health, and the environment. I hope that you chose to eat GMO crops now. I hope you have a great day.